We have a major news development right now. Increased numbers of United States military personnel are calling outside lawyers to seek justification over whether or not orders given by Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and other senior Trump officials are legal. In a major development, a new PBS report outlines how increased phone calls are being made to outside legal groups, including groups like the Orders Project from the National Institute of Military Justice, to seek out legal advice over whether the Trump administration's orders in the Southern Caribbean to carry out boat strikes on so called narco terrorist vessels, along with the deployment of the National Guard on United States soil, and even the United States sending weapons over to Israel to conduct atrocities in Gaza, whether any of that is lawful. And military personnel within the United States military right now are actively seeking out outside legal counsel at an increased rate. This is not something we typically see in the United States government. A lot of folks say, remember your oath to military personnel deployed on United States soil against American citizens and when conducting these strikes in the Caribbean or really any carrying out any order of this commander in chief. And well, now they're questioning whether or not they are violating their oath by carrying out certain unlawful activities by and ordered by the Trump administration. Everyone needs to know about this. So, like, comment, share, and subscribe. So, we have a new PBS report that outlines this stunning development. And I need to read alongside with me. I need to show you parts of it. So, calls to organizations like the Orders Project, which provides free legal advice to military personnel, are on the rise from staff officers involved in planning the boat strikes, as are calls to a separate hotline from National Guard personnel concerned about domestic deployments to American cities, and even calls expressing concerns of complicity in a possible genocide in Gaza by virtue of U.S. weapons sent to Israel, signaling heightened concern from within the U.S. government that the U.S. military is exposing them who serve to legal harm. This is not from me, this is directly from PBS's report. And PBS interviewed Lieutenant Colonel Frank Rosenblatt, who has retired, and he said that the public is paying attention to these things, as are many members of the military. There are a lot of questions being asked, and not all of the answers have been forthcoming about one, the factual basis for this and the legal basis for this. I don't think we can say that these orders that are manifestly unlawful just based on what we can see right now, but there are also many questions about the legal basis for this under both US law, US Constitution, constitutional law, as well as international law. So one of the organizations that's received increased phone calls, it's called the Orders Project. The Orders Project, it's a nonpartisan organization. It was founded within the National Institute for Military Justice, and the goal is to assist military personnel in understanding their options when faced with an order that they may not believe is legal. In addition, it creates resources such as Sourcebook for advocates advising military personnel and provides education to organizations and individuals about the complexities related to military orders. The Orders Project is led by a group of professionals experienced in military justice who are committed to connecting service members with experienced legal counsel to make informed decisions about their duties under the law. As it relates to orders, there is a strong presumption of legality for orders under existing law, and following legal orders is critical to the good order and discipline of our military. However, when there is a question of legality, it is important that military personnel have a trusted resource to get their questions answered. And this is one of the organizations that's received increased phone calls from service officers within the United States military, especially as it relates to the boat strikes in the Southern Caribbean. And that's one that I want to focus on here because that's about setting the stage for a possible large scale conflict with Venezuela in the Southern Caribbean. According to The Intercept, the Trump administration is actually promising legal cover to military personnel who carry out the lethal strikes on the alleged drug smugglers in the waters surrounding Latin America. And it's not just in the Caribbean, it's actually also in the Pacific. Right now, there is a Justice Department Office of Legal Counsel opinion that hasn't been publicized because it's classified. And the goal is to shield service members up and down the chain of command from prosecution. But one senior defense official that spoke to The Intercept said that, quote, it's outrageous. I don't know what's more secure, or I don't know what's more insane. that the president of peace is starting an illegal war, or that he's giving a get out of jail free card to the US military. Hopefully, they realize there's no immunity for war crimes, nor is there a statute of limitations. The Trump administration is keeping this OLC memo from the American people. It did allow Congress and their staff to read the document, but just 20 copies were made available in a secure room. So there was significant delay. Not every lawmaker got to see it, etc. But senior government officials and attorneys are questioning the legality of the strikes, and they were long before they began. Quote, I'm not surprised that civilian and military leaders raise significant concerns with these strikes, given that they are manifestly unlawful, even under the most permissive wartime legal frameworks government lawyers have deployed at any point in the past 2 decades. Another official says, quote, it really strikes me that OLC has given an assignment. We need a legal justification to do the following, and they just cooked something up. This is illegal backfiling. How do you lawyer your way to yes? It's legal mad libs. They're throwing all these terms and concepts at the wall, but there is no real content or substance behind them. Essentially, the Trump administration decided we're going to start striking Venezuela, or we're going to start striking these boats without any legal justification, but we need to find legal justification. So what are we going to do? We're going to just write up this memo to protect ourselves for when later on in our term, inevitably, Congress says, well, hey, you just conducted a number of illegal strikes in the Caribbean or in the Pacific. You killed people without any legal justification, and now they need cover. And that's exactly what happened. And it comes after international organizations and international countries across the globe have lambasted the administration for these strikes. So a UN official said that the strikes likely violate international humanitarian rights law. Canada, the United Kingdom, and other countries, including France, have all said that they do not want any part in it, that they don't want to assist with intelligence sharing, that they don't want their forces taking part in any of these strikes because they don't believe it is lawful as well. So America's allies do not believe it is lawful. And ultimately, folks, this boils down to a war not on drugs, but a war on oil, because the Trump administration desperately wants access to the rich oil fields within Venezuela. And so they're using these strikes on Southern Caribbean boats as a guise to have military to push Maduro out, get access to Venezuelan oil, and regime change. But at the same time, you literally have military personnel who are questioning, well, can I even do this? Is this legal? Is this lawful? If you are a military personnel watching this video, just remember 3 words. Remember your oath. And I will continue to provide you updates as we get more information on this and more. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you soon with another update. So stay tuned.